What's up, guys? Welcome back to Miss Studio. Since I'm still not able to film in the shop yet, but I've still got good content for you. Today we're talking about my 3 favorite tuners. I do have some honorable mentions though. I'll talk about those in a little bit. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Maxwell. I'm a highly trained unprofessional at Harley Davidson. Hence my... I do a fair amount of dyno tuning, base map downloads, things like that, and I get a ton of questions about, well, a lot of stuff. So today we're going to talk about my 3 favorites: the Screamin Eagle Pro Tuner, the Dynojet Power Vision, the Vance and Hines Fuel Pack. Today's video is sponsored by JKOVE. They have a really cool Bluetooth speaker that is linked down in the description with a significant discount code. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. For now, let's dive right into what makes these my favorite tuners and what makes them different, what comes in the box, how much they cost, all of that kind of stuff. Now for me, the most important part of a tuner is that it doesn't have to remain on the motorcycle. All 3 of the ones shown here have to be hooked up to the bike for communication purposes, for the tuning part, the checking codes, the whatever features that it might have in it. But once you're done doing what you're doing, you can take it off your bike, put it in your desk drawer or toolbox or wherever you might want to keep it so that you don't lose it, because you may need it in the future. But it's a very important aspect because weather is not good on electronics. The Power Vision unit is easily the most robust with a screen on it, but I don't necessarily want mine getting all rained on and stuff. It's pretty expensive at 550 bucks, so I don't want to have to replace this. Now that I say that, at the time of filming this video, it is $439 on Dynojet's website. I guess I might as well go ahead and mention all of the pricing. The fuel pack comes in at $399, a significant savings over the Power Vision. I'd like to point out really quick though that the Power Vision has a screen. The fuel pack actually Bluetooths to your phone, so there's some cost savings just in the product itself. And the Screamin Eagle, believe it or not, comes in the cheapest at $299. In an effort to use this though, the steeper price Power Vision requires nothing. In the box it comes with the unit itself, a cable to hook up to a PC if you so desire, but you don't have to have a PC, and a cable to hook up the bike. Now to be clear, there's a 6-pin and a 4-pin connector type. That is pretty much what determines the part number, is which cable it comes with. Now the fuel pack also comes with everything you need, but you also need to have a smartphone. Let's be real, it's 2020. You probably already own one, but pro for Power Vision, including everything you need, and you need nothing else. Now in the box with the FP3, you get instructions, of course, and the FP3 unit itself. The 2 types would be same deal, 6-pin, 4-pin, because it's going to plug right into the data link connector just like the other tuners. You use the FP3 app through Bluetooth connectivity, and it's extremely user-friendly. It's easily my favorite of the tuners as far as that goes. Ease of use, finding what you need to find, doing what you want to do. FP3 all the way for usability. Now while the Screamin Eagle tuner is the absolute least expensive, in order to actually use it, you do have to purchase more stuff. You order the connector kit directly from Harley Davidson. You either need the 4-pin or 6-pin, just like the other units. That $299 price does come with a either 4-pin or 6-pin cable kit that you'll need along with a PC. So this can quickly become the most expensive if you don't already own a computer, or if you're trying to do it yourself at all, or if you're trying to pay somebody to use it. This one is not nearly as user-friendly as the others. You almost definitely want your local dealership to be taking care of this for you. But we'll get to why this is still one of my favorites in a second. Before we keep on with the tuners, let's talk really quick about the JKOVE speaker. Thanks again, JKOVE, for sponsoring this video. This is their newest unit, the Commuter 2. Longtime viewers of the channel will know that I've used the Commuter 1 at the shop for a long time. Well, this one I brought home. Why, you ask? Because, well, quite frankly, this one's awesome, and I wanted it to be able to fill an entire room. So I've been using it in my kitchen. Well, my wife has, while she's cooking and stuff. Up to 7 hours of play. It has 360-degree range, a powerful subwoofer on both ends, but both ends is kind of misleading because, wait for it, 2 speakers. It is absolutely, like, this thing is so trick, guys. All right. So it's also a left and right speaker if you're in a space that you want that. You can easily clip them back together, which I always get wrong the first time. They'll go together like so. It is water resistant, which I don't think the other one was. It's IPX7 rated. So, you know, if it's poolside and gets a little bit splashed, it's fine. Can't submerge it is basically what that means. It does have a built-in microphone too. So it works as a speakerphone. It does connect via Bluetooth with cell phones, tablets, and computers. So honestly, I probably should have kept it for myself and had some cooler computer speakers than I have. I wonder if my wife will notice if I steal it back. So, like I said, it's linked down in the description. Huge discount. Check that out. I'm a huge fan of it. My wife is loving it so far. I've used it for a couple of days before I handed it over to her, and I'm extremely impressed. A great left and right speaker combo. That's probably my favorite way to use it, is to split them apart and have 2 speakers. Now, getting back to the tuners, one thing that all 3 of these have in common is they all can be used with a Wideband O2 kit. If you don't know what I mean, the stock O2 sensor is a very tiny, narrow band, meaning the AFR or air fuel readings are, it's extremely small area that it can read numbers in. 14 millimeters is stock, 18 millimeter is the wideband. I bring that up because for your stock head pipe, widebands don't just quit dragging around on my table. Is that just horrible or what? Probably ruin my audio right there. Anyway, so that wideband O2 generally will fit almost all of your aftermarket head pipes now, but your stock head pipe will need to be modified. The only one I have to show you though is the Screamin Eagle auto tuner, and it comes in at $399. Surprisingly, the cheapest again. All of the Wideband O2 sensor kits are required to stay on the bike. So I have installed a few of these. I've not installed any of the others, just so you know. They work the same way though, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the theory of them and the pricing. Essentially, the game plan for the Wideband O2s is a better, more accurate tune if you so decide to put it on the dyno, but it could potentially take your base map, which is all of your air-fuel ratios and needs for your bike with the parts that you have installed. Ideally, it's extremely close to what you're shooting for, but they're never exactly the same bike to bike to bike. So that's where dyno tuning and potentially Wideband O2s come into place to really dial in a specific motorcycle. And sometimes the map might not be the same exhaust as you or whatever, so it needs a little bit of tweaking. So the wideband kit for tuning on the FP3 comes in at $569. In research for the FP3 though, I'll link some of their videos down below. They do have a really good video on how to dyno tune and what it is that they're doing during an auto tune session, because all these tuners have an auto tune feature as well. So the only thing is, the Vance and Hines dyno guy acts like it is extremely fast and super easy to run through all the cells. I have not had the same experience. I will quickly show a demo from FP3 though. Basically, for every map across the face of the planet, doesn't matter which version, you're looking for throttle position and RPMs, and basically anywhere you could ride at, you know, say you're cruising on the highway, you're at 20% throttle at 3,500 RPM, and that's where you need to be cruising at 80 down the highway. I just made those numbers up for the record. But you want your bike dialed in right there. But then if you romp on it, 100% throttle past a truck, you want all of that dialed in as well. I will say that while all these have auto tuners and you could tune them on the street, a dyno tune session is far superior. Mostly just because you have to be able to hold your position long enough for the O2s to get readings and do the auto tuning stuff. Well, it's not safe to ride at 5,000 RPM with 100% throttle. That's going really, really fast, I promise. So much safer to be on a dyno where there isn't traffic and you can watch the computer screen and all that kind of stuff. But FP3's Wideband O2 kit that they explain very well in the video link down below, I take that back. That you do not have to leave that one on the bike. The Vance and Hines version, you put on the bike, you do your tuning, you take it off of the bike. And the way they even market it, it sounds like it's mostly for shops and dyno tuners and things like that. So I've never actually had a chance to use that one because I'd essentially have to buy it and then hope people roll in with FP3s for me to tune. The PowerVision version of the Wideband O2s is called Target Tune, and it comes in at a $599 price tag. That said, it is all settings in the PowerVision Tune, just selecting that you have Wideband O2s. The ECM will learn to read those widebands instead of the stock ones. It is pretty trick technology when you think about like what this little box can actually do. Speaking of this little box doing stuff though, that computer cable it comes with, you can do a ton more with a PC, to the point that most people are, and in some areas even myself, I mean, you really can dive into, you can legit just build crazy motors and the PowerVision will still be able to take care of it, which is a super pro for this one. The FP3, I've not always had luck in anything past like stage 1 area. I have tuned a few cams with it and it works. Not as quick and easy as the PowerVision though. And since we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and bring up that the Pro Street Tuner is, well, quite frankly, as far as tunability goes, the absolute worst one in the bunch. It does keep everything within EPA guidelines, which, you know, on the surface, it's just not a power maker at all. However, the only way you can maintain your factory warranty currently in today's world is by using this tuner. If you were to plug up to the shop computer at a dealership with an FP3 download or a PowerVision download, you're instantly flagged and the motor company knows that you have altered your bike and your powertrain warranty is void. Pro Tuner, however, is, because it's EPA regulated, you're in the clear. I do have a whole video on warranty. I'll link it in the card above. So, you know, don't roast me in the comments, man. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm just giving you how it is. Essentially, though, that's why the Screamin Eagle one is even on the list, is because, well, if you want to maintain your warranty, specifically if you're using Screamin Eagle parts too. If you're using anything else, this tuner is not going to be able to keep up. The maps are built for Harley parts, maintains EPA, your warranty is good. For that reason, this is a good tuner, particularly at the lowest price point. You stand to have a, say, a stage 2 torque cam, that's a fun bike. It's not the biggest power number maker, but it's a lot more fun than stock, and you still have warranty. So that's why the Pro Street Tuner is on the list. I've already mentioned that the FP3 is super user friendly, and every map I've ever used with Vance and Hines parts, just like Screamin Eagle is made, the maps are made for Screamin Eagle parts, Vance and Hines maps are, it started out being made for Vance and Hines pipes, stage 1 stuff, high flow air cleaner, Vance and Hines exhaust. They have started expanding into other exhaust manufacturers, adding cams to their list and stuff like that. Like I said, I've tuned some cams. It's a really good tuner, but it does have its limits. It's almost so user-friendly, it's dumbed down in some areas for a dyno tuner, but a good product nonetheless, and at a better price point than the PowerVision. I will throw in too, Vance and Hines support is absolutely awesome. I have needed them for some help on a couple of bikes, and with this thing Bluetooth to your phone and hooked to Wi-Fi, they can actually come in and check some stuff out and give really good like hands-on support from wherever they're at. That leads me to the PowerVision being easily the best. It is the most expensive. It's also easily the best build quality out of the three. It's an all-in-one unit. The box and the cord gets you tuning right away. Auto tune on the road if you so desire. You know, dyno it. I can hook it to the PC. I can manually change stuff. It's awesome. Spark Advance, all that stuff. Vance and Hines does have Spark Advance too. But there really is so many switches and stuff you can change. You can read codes with this on the screen while it's on your bike. The FP3 also reads codes. However, you have to Bluetooth to your phone, open up the app, all that stuff. This one, you just click buttons. I wish I could show you guys how the screen looks. I will link the Dynojet's website down below too, so that maybe if you want to do more research, you can. Clicking through stuff there. Power Vision made by Dynojet, so the same company that makes, say, the dyno at my dealership. They do have really good customer support as well, though generally I talk to them through email, so it's a little slower than Vance and Hines. This is a really good time to bring up, I probably should have brought up in the beginning actually, that if you are taking your bike to a tuner and you're gonna have it dynoed and you don't understand any of the stuff that I've been talking about, the only thing that matters is that the tuner thinks it's the best tuner. The person tuning it thinks it's the best tuner and they know how to use it. Because while I love the Power Vision, if you don't know how to use this thing, it is an absolute paperweight. That said, my honorable mentions. Power Commander 5, also made by Dynojet, is a really good, very quick tuner, but it stays on the bike. And well, for one, it's sometimes on some models it's hard to find a place to even put it. Chances are the seat might crush it. It's subject to weather. I've seen a lot of failures 9 times out of 10 because the case is cracked or water got in it or something like that, and the whole bike just runs like absolute crap, or it throws codes or what have you. So for every Power Commander 5 I've ever put on, I probably pulled that many off. The ThunderMax whole ECM system, the only way the ThunderMax works is with Wideband O2s, and well, I'm not a fan of it either. While it's, I guess it's a good product, I've honestly never really tuned with it, but there's a lot of things that the ThunderMax makes you unable to do. For instance, because it's an ECM replacement module, you can no longer hook to the shop computer. So for me, I'm definitely not going to like that at all. Simple things like ABS bleeds, or changing the pin number for your security system, or programming a fob, or reading trouble codes. Any of that stuff is not possible because, well, you can't hook to the shop computer. I have tried to use like their ThunderMax's program on a computer, and I couldn't find out how to do any of that stuff either. I should add too that I've physically talked to representatives for these 3 companies, and I've never talked to anybody from ThunderMax ECM, so maybe I'm slightly biased, I don't know. So in my rating from good to best, good, better, best, and that's just how I feel about that. Hopefully you understand all this. I know dyno tuning and maps and tuning things and all that can be extremely confusing, so if you want to throw some questions down below, maybe I'll hit up a Q&A video or something about tuning specifically. I mean, I gotta use this new studio space for something, right? Hey, if you like this video, make sure to give a big dirty thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, make sure to click the subscribe button, tap that bell notification so you know when I upload. If you ain't quite got your fix, there's a video right here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.